I'm talking live and direct to Mr. Steve James, who's currently in Jamaica. Before we get into the meat of our conversation, Steve, we just heard in the US and in the UK about pinchers being fired on and possibly being injured. What have you heard from Jamaica?
About who?
Pinchers.
Pinchers.
Yeah, what's the news about pinchers, please?
I have not heard anything, so I have to do some background checks, and I can give you a full update.
Okay, great. If you could get someone to do that, because that's the news that's all over the internet, and people are calling me from or contacting me from the UK, asking if I know about it. I saw a post that a friend had said they'd spoken with him and he's broken his hand or something, but he wasn't shot, but he was able to fire back. So that's the news that we've heard. But I wanted to hear it from a credible source. And who else than Mr. Bess FM himself?
Yes, real rock.
All right. So, Steve, now, for those who are listening who don't know who Steve James is, you started, you have an extensive background in the entertainment industry. Were you born in the UK?
No, I was actually born in Jamaica. I was born in Montego Bay, Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And many years in the U.S., including New York City, Florida, Chicago, and Miami. Went to Baruch College. A man used to play at all those parties for Baruch.
Wow. Wow. So you have a lot of connections in the U.S., the New York area then?
Yeah, man. Used to hang out on the corner of Utica and Church with back in the days with Witty, the life Shelley, the great Philip Smart, and yeah, man, was heavily involved in the music back then. And never lived in the UK, but I visited the UK for many years, and have very close connections. Wrote for Black Echoes for almost 10 years, and also used to follow the Black Echoes chart when it was the real chart. So I used to.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Steve? We dropped the call again. Oh my goodness. Steve, are you there? He should still be here because okay, I think he must have moved out of range. All right, so I'm going to stay on the line with Steve until he moves back in place, because I know he's logged into the chat room, I think. So I'm not sure if he moved or if the call dropped. What's going on here? I think he's still connected, but he may have moved slightly out of range. Anyway, if you are in the Conduit chat room or if you're just about to log in, this is Steve calling me back, so the call did drop. All right. Yes, Steve, hi. Steve?
Yes,
all right.
Dropped.
The call dropped. Okay, great. So I guess it's going to be like that for the duration, but we'll just keep calling each other. You were telling us about the Black Echoes charts.
Right. So I used to follow that chart, and all the songs that were in the top 10, top 20 coming out of either the UK or Jamaica, I used to say, boy, I have to have a copy of that. So that is really how my love for lovers rock specifically started. And over the years, I've gotten to know, a lot of the artists, a lot of the people in media and musicians in the UK. And ever since then, it's been no turning back up to till this day. They still supply me with all of the lovers rock, and I'm proud to say that there is no other person or station in Jamaica that can play lovers rock like Real Rock and Best FM, www.bestfm.com.
And while we're talking, I'm not even going to put myself in your class, Steve, because I hope you can see me. I hope you're logged into the chat room. This is me paying homage to you, because what you're doing in Jamaica for Lovers Rock, and we're talking about Lovers Rock emanating out of the UK. When I talk about Lovers Rock, that's the Lovers Rock I mean. So
Right.
for people who are listening, don't get it twisted. There is only one Lovers Rock, and it was originated in the UK. So,
We're not talking a man who sing over and song and says a love song is a
you
reggae
know,
song.
no, completely
We're
different thing.
talking about the real, the beats per minute, the bass line, the horns, the harmony,
And the
Sylvia
tempo.
Tellers, the Vivian Jones,
And the
Brown
tempo.
Sugars,
Yes.
Dina the Bumbo,
Yes.
Louisa Marks, and them kind of things.
And so on and so on. Carol Thompson,
Yes.
Janet Kay, Victor Romero Evans, and so on and so on and so on. I want to say
Craft and Kofi and the Mad Professor
Yes.
and Peter Honey
Chris Peckins,
yeah, man.
all of them.
And all of them people.
Yes, and we've got British people who are logged into the chat room, Steve, so I'm so glad that they could hear Steve James, who is flying the flag in Jamaica for Lovers Rock. One of your hats, and you wear many hats, we're going to concentrate right now on your DJ hat. I was happy to be in Jamaica last February when JARIA, the organization, which we're going to talk about in greater depth in a bit, but I was there when, for some of the events that JARIA put on. The first one was the church service at the Mona Chapel. I want to ask the question. I know last year there were some serious issues about funding for JARIA, which was given this monumental task to present events for the whole of February. Does JARIA, the organization, still have funding issues, or did corporate Jamaica get on board this year?
Well, that's a funny question, because we can always do with more funding. I mean, corporate Jamaica got on board, but we need much more of corporate Jamaica and the private sector to get on board. It's not an easy task to stage an event of Reggae Month with over, I think we have up to 50 other events now in 29 days.
Wow.
So every single day we have an event, and it takes quite a lot of support and sponsorship and funding to put on such an event of the magnitude. So I wouldn't say that we're anywhere close to where we want to be, with corporate sponsorship, both from local and overseas, because we want the diaspora also to get involved, and we have reached out to some, and some have already showed their willingness to assist. But we need much more in terms of funding.
Okay, so I wasn't able to find the document that I should be referring to, and since we touched on JARIA, let's just move into your JARIA hat. We're going to jump back to your DJ hat, and then there's your photography hat that we got to get into also. But since February is designated as Reggae Month in Jamaica, how did JARIA come about to be the organization tasked with putting on this whole raft of events for the month of February? Give us the background of JARIA on that.
Basically, a few years ago, approximately 7 years ago, the government...
Oh, my goodness. Oh, right in the middle, at the crucial part. But I will not be frustrated because either Steve will call me back or I will call him back, because it's important that we learn about the organizations. And this is me calling Steve. So just hold on, hang on for a second. I'm sure he's going to... Yes, Steve. Hi, Steve. Call dropped again. Okay, so you know sometimes these magic things ain't that magic. They're just too rude. All right, I'm calling Steve back again because I want him to explain. He's calling me now. All right, Steve. Hello? Hi there.
Hi, Sheron.
Yes, I don't know if you're moving around or if
No,
the
I'm
call.
stationary looking at your pleasant face and everything. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, thank you. But you know what? Sometimes the magic things are not as magic. Sometimes they're just very rude.
Right.
Okay, but continue with the conversation because it is fascinating, and you know, I want as many people as possible to support what JARIA is doing because I actually see some good works coming out of JARIA. You were telling us about the background and the history of
Right.
JARIA.
So around 7 years ago, the government mandated, JARIA, the Jamaica Reggae Industry Association, to we started staging it, and we have moved from Edna Manley. We spent a few years at Edna Manley and a few years at Emancipation Park, and our new home is now at Ronnie Williams Entertainment Center, which is on Hope Road.
Yeah, congratulations! It's a fabulous facility. Is also where is there a sort of museum to Louise Bennett? I'm not sure.
It's just up the road or down the road from where the Bob Marley Museum is.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly like a 3 or 4 minute drive down the road.
Right. Because yeah, I think I was there last year when you were having a meeting, and I stopped by.
Yes.
So it is a central location, and it certainly is a very pleasant building. I don't know what the capacity is, but I know as the years have progressed, more and more people are hearing the name JARIA, associating it with Reggae Month, February in Jamaica, and supporting the event. I know the Emancipation Park events were very well attended because they're free events.
Right. So all the events are free except for the JARIA Awards, which is held at the Courtley Auditorium.
Mm-hmm.
And we have on Valentine's night, it's Stone Love for Lovers.
Wow.
It's going to be a lover's vibe this time. Stone Love,
Juggling song.
but it's going to be strictly a lover's vibes. And also Mike T from Cool 97 will also be spinning along with Reaper from Stone Love.
And that's on February the 14th.
Are free, and we have every day we have a different event. I mean, Open University is one of the events that we have, and we have a panel discussion. We have several interesting topics. Topics like paving the way, youth panel, reggae stewardship and stardom, analysis of Bogle, the impact of sound system. We have fusion, the synergies and the influences, sexuality, gender, dancehall in the 21st century, women in reggae. And I must tell you some of our panelists, Sister Carol,
Excellent.
who just started our fourth movie. She's one of our panelists. Copeland Forbes, Sadiqa Dairam, from CVM, Maxine Poe, who used to be with Island for a while, Dr. Donna Hope, from the university, she'll be there. So we have a broad range of panelists, and the topic of discussions are very, very interesting for Open University.
Right.
We also have what we call Reggae in Film. So we have one full day from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., where we're going to have, documentaries about reggae music. One of them being Deep Roots Music. It's narrated by Mikey, Drill at the Control.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, that one. Then we have one that recently released, I Am the Garden, by Bonnie Lee.
Out of the UK.
On Bonnie Lee.
Yeah.
And out of the UK. Behind the Music with Peter Tosh.
Mm-hmm.
Behind the Music with Bob Marley. There's a new movie coming out about Perry Hensel, and it's going to be shown here for the first time.
Wow. The producer, was he the producer or the writer of The Harder They Come?
Right. I think he was the writer of the holiday.
There was another in conjunction with I can't remember his name, but he never gets mentioned when The Harder They Come is talked about. And he was a Jamaican. I'm trying to remember his name. It will come to me.
Bradshaw?
No. I think he was in the arts. Oh my God. It will come to me.
Okay.
It will come back to me.
We're also going to show John Holt with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra that was
Wow.
done in the UK, and I don't think a lot of people have seen that. But it's John Holt with a 45
Full
piece
orchestra
with Lloyd Parks and we the people, everybody in tux and their tall gowns, backed by some
Wow.
beautiful young ladies, and it was a great concert. So we're going to be showing that also. Mm-hmm.
And all of this is taking place for the whole month of February. Now, I know that you did send me the calendar of events, and I'm trying to find it, but I'm definitely going to keep posting it on my Facebook